Hi guys, my name is Mahesh Weeratunge. I'm from KDC Academy of Management, one of the accredited study centers in Sri Lanka for CIM UK qualification, Chartered Institute of Marketing UK qualification. And of course, this is an additional session for KDC students, other than the areas what we have covered in the classroom, which relates to the Level 6 Marketing and the Digital Strategy subject assignment for July 2023 exam. So this is the subject what we are going to talk about today. And in my previous videos, we have been discussing your uh, task 1 part A, B, and C up to objectives area we have been discussing, and we have designed the content part also for the same. Here, what we will be doing, we will be looking at the part D, where you look at your strategic options to go into your marketing plan. So I'll be taking y'all on the area where y'all have to address in this question, and let's look at the key area there where they are expecting y'all to address in your answer. So you can see the question here, right? You can see the question here, and of course, let me see whether my pen is working. Wait. Okay, done. Now, let's look at the area where we need to address in this part of your assignment, because task 1 part A, B, and C up to the up to designing objectives we have covered. So as I said, let's look at the main expectation under this question, the task 1 part D of your marketing and the digital strategy subject. Now, first we'll read the question, then you will be able to get a clear idea. And remember, I mean, as you all know in your assignment of marketing and digital strategy, so your task 1 part D, you get 10 marks. And from task 1 part B to F, you have to allocate total 10 sides of A4s. Based on the marks allocation, you can decide the number of A4s and the number of sides of A4s you have to allocate for the task 1 part D. But this is one of the strategy area where you need to look at, and the 10 marks allocated, which means significant portion will be there for that area as well, same as what we have been discussing in task 1 part B. Part D, let me take you all on to a different screen here. So it's very much easy for me to highlight whatever the areas that are important in the question. So in this question, if I take if I read with you all, so the strategic options. So you need to look at the strategic options. There are so many strategies available to achieve maybe the same objective. To achieve the same object, you might have multiple strategies. Now, let's say as an example, you have one objective, but you have strategy 1, you have strategy 2, you have strategy 3, you may have strategy 4, you may have strategy 5. So like that, you might have multiple strategies. So depending on your capabilities, your capacities, your practical side of it, and your resources, and the profitability of whatever the approach you are taking, you might select the best strategy out of whatever the available strategies. So here in this assignment, before I read the rest, so you need to identify the meaning behind the strategic options. You are not having only one strategy. You have many strategies. Out of that, selecting the best is the part what we are going to do. But the strategic option means you might have one objective where you can achieve so many using so many strategies there. So let's read the question again. The strategic options to achieve these goals, including segmentation, targeting, and positioning. These goals, in the sense, what the goals what we have been discussing at part C. Part C, we have been discussing goals, objectives, the organizational goals, long-term, short-term objectives, long, mid-term, short-term objectives. We were talking about. So to achieve those goals, to achieve those objectives, what are the strategies available? So including, they said, okay, there are so many other strategies. In your answer, there should be segmentation related strategies, targeting related strategies, and positioning related strategies also. There are so many other strategies now. Let's say the differentiation strategy, the product development strategy, the pricing strategy, promotion strategy, growth related strategies, branding related strategies, the brand reputation development strategy, brand, let's say awareness strategy, you mean to. So like that, many strategies available. So in your answer, they are specifically mentioning within brackets saying that including segmentation, targeting, and positioning, which means your strategy area, what you're going to discuss, you have to talk about the segmentation, targeting, and positioning as well in your answer. And supporting the tactical mix, you talk about, okay, the product mix and the marketing mix, you are talking about the promotion communication mix, you are talking about. So all the other areas you can talk about. So which means you need to identify, first of all, what are the strategies available. All these strategies we have been discussing in our classroom session, so that you can refer to the KDC LMS and the classroom notes for you to identify strategies. Now, let's say as example, the growth strategy, like you can talk about ANSOF strategy. We have discussed the 4 strategy model as well as the 9 strategy model we have been discussing, extended version of the ANSOF model we have been discussing. So growth avenues, the growth strategy, what you can use. And at the same time, we have been discussing the segmentation related strategies, like demographic related strategies, geographic related strategies, psychographic, behavioral, benefits of segmentation related strategies we have been talking about. So you need to look at, okay, to achieve the same objectives, you might have multiple strategies, as I said before. And we were talking about the segmentation profiling and customer persona design and all these things we have been discussing. So refer those classroom notes, since it's a very short video for you to give a quick guidance on whatever the areas you need to relook at based on the classroom study. So the targeting also same. We were talking about undifferentiated, differentiated, concentrated, niche related targeting strategies. We were talking about positioning. We were talking about different type of positioning. We were talking about value-based positioning and things like that. So many areas are there where we can discuss. So look at on those areas so that it will be easy for you all to work on this. Then finally, the tactical mix, which means you're talking about your marketing mix, product related strategies, product development strategies, new product development strategies, you mean to say the product life cycle strategies, right? So things like that, and related to the branding also at the same time you can talk about. So those areas you need to address in your answer. And at the same time, you need to look at the learning outcomes and the assessment criteria also. So the question is based on these 3 assessment criteria, 3.2, 4.1, 4.2. So your answer should cover using the area which is covered under the assessment criteria 3.2, 4.1, 4.2, and the indicative content which is mentioned over there. Now, when you look at the indicative content, you can talk about the strategy related tool, the strategic options, changing environment, developing customer personas, what we have been talking about. Along with the segmentation, you can develop a customer personas. So online, offline strategies. So we are talking about the traditional and the digital integration part strategies we can talk about. So like that, branding strategies, digital strategies, and I mean like the profit projections and things like that. You need to look at, you need to discuss these areas, which is coming under 3.2. 4.1, 4.2 in your answer if you are to get the full marks which is allocated for this particular question. So you need to make sure that you comply whatever the conditions that are there in the assessment criteria and the learning outcome also, then it will be easy for you all to do the answer, sketch the answer. So when you go for the answer, when you structure the answer, you need to look at, okay, it's task 1, part B. As I usually said, you need to look at a different top heading for the task 1, part B also. So I will just give a rough idea. So you can talk about the strategic options to achieve whatever objectives you talk about. So under that, you can talk about strategic options related to the segmentation, targeting, positioning. Then you talk about marketing mix related strategies, the growth related strategies. So under different subheadings, you can bring these strategic options available. And remember, so these strategies, what you're discussing here, should in line with your objective, what you have discussed in the part C, because they say strategic options to achieve these goals in the sense the goals what you have been discussing in part C of your task 1 in marketing and digital strategy subject. So guys, you all have to refer the KDC LMS for this and classroom notes so that you will be able to fill the strategies available where you can go for your answer. So I'm not going to give you all the subheadings here because I need to make sure that you all have an independent effort, individual effort to come up with a proper structure. So generally you can look at, okay, the approach like this. So even when you talk about the customer segmentation, you need to look at the segmentation profiling part properly, because the customer persona you need to design and you need to talk about the segmentation profile carefully and the targeting strategies. Now, let's say as example, okay, segmentation strategies, the targeting strategies, the positioning strategies. You can talk about the product development and branding strategies. So pricing and costing related approaches and the strategies, so that you can talk about the marketing mix strategies. You can talk about the differentiation strategies, bringing so many models you can talk about. And remember, guys, don't write theories there because you won't get a single mark for theory. So you need to implement whatever the theories you have learned there, because in this answer, they don't expect what is segmentation, what is targeting, what is positioning. No, those are theories. Don't write theories, but you have to explain how you have implemented your segmentation, targeting, and positioning to achieve the goals what is mentioned in the task C. So read the question once again carefully, and also along with these learning outcomes and the assessment criteria, along with the indicative contents, so that it will be easy for you all to go for your answer. And once you go to the KDC LMS, you have everything, right? From the beginning, you have everything in KDC LMS, so that you can get whatever the notes that are connected with each and every part of your learning outcome from the LMS. So using those notes, you can build your answer. Remember, once again, don't write theories. I'm repeating this because you won't get a single marks by repeating theories, writing theories, and you have to implement those models practically for your answer to get the correct output for your one. So guys, this is mainly, as I told you all, for the KDC Academy of Management Sri Lanka students, those who are studying CIM level 6, the marketing and the digital strategy. So we are one of the accredited study centers in Sri Lanka for Chartered Institute of Marketing UK. So wish you all the very best, and hope you all will have a good session, and you all can submit me once you complete this, so that I will give my feedback. All the best, guys. We'll see you all in the class with your working. Good luck.